This is a David Brown 1390. I think it's in 1984. It's not in too bad condition. Most of the glass is there for it. Mightn't be installed, but it's there for it somewhere. Today we're going to try and fit a new grille, a new nose cone here at the front, and it all kind of got busted up there down through the years. The side panels are there for it too somewhere. And before anyone gives out to me about working under a raised loader, I have the locks in on the rams there, so it's held up mechanically, not just hydraulically. So I have the bonnet of it open there. So you can see the locks there on that side of it too. It's not too bad inside in it. The door is there for it as well somewhere. I think all that's missing is just the glass out of the back of it. You see it there. The glass has just gone out of the lower part of the cab there. I think there's new glass there for the back window someplace as well. This one doesn't have a pickup hitch, although I think there's parts of it there. I think that's part of the pickup hitch. But yeah. So anyway, back to the matter at hand. There's still parts of the busted one there somewhere. So we'll see. Some of the wiring is there for the lights as well. I don't know. It all looks a bit dicey. So we'll have to see. But that's it anyway. A David Brown 1390. So let's get into it and see how I get on. Now, this is the new cowl, or surround, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know where my dad got this, but it didn't come cheap. I see €200 plus tax on it there. But anyway, it's certainly not as good a quality as the one that came off of it. This is a chunk of what's left of the old one. You can see it's much thicker quality and all that. I mean, that's what 4mm thick there. And at the side, the same part of it is a little more than 2. And you can feel it. I mean, this one chunk feels almost the same weight as the entire new one there. Plus, the old one had the adjustment screws for the headlights, kind of countersunk like that, or counterboard. Whereas in this new one, they're not. You see there, they're not. They're just out flush like that. So those screws are going to be sitting out proud, which isn't great. But what can you do? That's all I have. Then the grille that goes up here is this. Now this is a different category of stuff altogether. I got this from a guy, I think he's in England. I don't know if you can make that out there, but his name is Jeremy Fern Motor Engineers. And this is, I'd argue so far to say that this is actually better than the one that came with the tractor day one. So that'll be fitted to that like that. And I have headlights there someplace. I'm going to have to repurpose the rubber surrounds that were used in the old one, because they cost a king's ransom. So I'm not going to buy those again when there's no real need to, because I'll just make them work. So that's it. So this has to get fitted to the front of the David Brown there I showed you earlier, and see how we get on from there. These are the rubber surrounds that goes around the headlights. They're not great. Just about see they're all kind of cracked there from old age. This one's even worse, held together with a cable tie, and it's all cracked there as well. But we'll have to do. I'll fit them into it somehow, and hopefully they'll do the job. if this thing has even the strength to support him. It's as light as a feather, this. You know, these lugs here are so flimsy and weak. I don't know, but at least it's all there and it's intact, so I'll try and fit it and see how I get on. I think I'm going to have to take the battery out to give myself some room in there, and I'll probably have to slide the whole bonnet rails back out of it, because from looking at it there I think it slips up from the bottom, but I can't do that right now because that part of the chassis is in the way. So anyway, I'll pull that back, and this is day 2 of this job. I had to run to town there to get hardware or screws or something to put this cowl onto that bonnet there. So this is, like I said to you earlier, this is really kind of poor quality, and it's missing half of the mounting ribs that should be on the inside. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these little I suppose screw caps, with these little bolts. I might have to put them into the lathe and make them a bit smaller so they'll fit into those little caps. If it will focus there, see, they're just a little bit too big. So I'm going to screw them in from the outside. Screw them in from the outside there, into those ribs there, and rather than try and mess about with those little nuts, I'm going to put these little threaded pop rivets into those side ribs there. Those little guys, they go on, use that gun there to put them on. So that's what I'm going to do, and at least it'll make it easier to take that cowl on and off if headlamp bulb blows or anything like that, or even for getting at the battery and things. So that's what I'm going to do, and see how it turns out. Now, if I screw it there now in the chuck, I just have to reduce the head of it down so that it will fit inside in one of these little plastic cups. See? Right now it's the screw head is too big for it. So anyway, here we go. Trying to watch the camera and the lathe at the same time. These screws are really soft, so I don't want to force it too hard in case it jigs in and bends the screw. Now that'll definitely fit in the head of that thing. I'll have to tidy up the shoulders of those screws there. There's a bit of a fold over from the cutting tool. I think that cutting tool is a bit dull actually. I might change it. Anyway, another day. Now I'm going to put in this M5 little threaded rivet here. Screws on like that. I have the holes already drilled. Now, just pop it down. I have a screw in it there at that side. So just open this one off just to hold it in position there. Now, put one in there for starters anyway. These things can be tight. Now, that'll do that one. So now I can just screw the cowl in from the outside, and I won't have to be trying to start little nuts on the back of those screws there from the top down. So that should be a better job. I'll put another one now in at the top. Now I'm just trying to fit in this grill into this cowl here. This is just the worst thing ever. It's just terrible, badly made. This thing is top quality, this grill. There's no question about that. But it just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit into this cowl. The cowl opening here is too small. And I'm not going to cut that, no matter what. Because I have a feeling this cowl isn't going to last any length of time. So I'll end up putting this into a new one again. So I'm definitely not going to cut that. So I'm going to have to try and make these holes line up somehow. They'll just about catch the screws there. Just about. But I'm going to have to put a spacer in there between that plate and the lug. It just won't fit in it. And if I try it, I'll just break off the lug, and then I'll be completely bet then. It's nearly getting too late for all this kind of work anyway. It's getting dark. The day went haywire on me there to go to town and get screws and different things. And there's an election, a presidential election on here today, so we had to go and vote. And there was a queue in there, and the day got away on me. Anyhow, I'm going to have to put spacers into that and see how it works out. Won't be pretty, but at least it'll be there. In it. So, as you can see here, only barely caught the lugs there. I don't know, that's going to last, not going to last very long. Same there, only barely caught it. And I had to put 2 nuts underneath the lugs there to make up the space, make up the gap. See, you can just about see the nut in there. But that's the guy that made this. Made the grill. He didn't make the cowl. But Jeremy Fern, Motor Engineers, someplace in England. Doesn't look too bad now. It's taking shape. No. So now I'll stick the lights in it next now and see how that goes. That's not going to be a barrel of laughs either, because like I was showing you earlier there, all these rubber mounts are all kind of half rotten. But we'll get them into it somehow and see how it looks then. That's the first headlight in anyway. Wasn't as bad as I thought, but this is the one that's going to be the interesting one. All the rubber's all kind of perished and stuff, but it will do. It will do. Let me see how it looks now from the front. Oh yeah, it's taking shape. It's taking shape. It's just a pity these bolts aren't counterbored into the face of the cowl like the original one was. See, the heads were down those little holes. You know, like that. God, this is much better stuff in this altogether. Look, it's nearly 1/4 of an inch thick, and that's only like wafer thick. Anyway, it'll be all right when it's on it. I still have to put on those little brackets there. You can't really see it. Those brackets at the bottom there. I'll do that tomorrow. It's gone a bit dark now, and I want to get all this finished tomorrow. So yeah, I'll have to get one of the lads to give me a hand to lift that up, because it's just too awkward to manage on my own. So anyway, yeah, back at it again tomorrow. Day 3, I suppose. Here we go. Not looking too bad. It's just a pity about all of these heads of the bolts are proud there. That doesn't look great, but anyway, it's as good as a fella can do. Next step now is to make something out of all of this. They all look kind of corroded and stuff. I don't know, it mightn't be too bad. I'll see. I might replace the 2 of those and put. Yeah, so I'll just crimp on that new base onto that one there, and should be good to go. I don't know what I'll do with this yoke. That's all kind of rotted out there. But anyway, it'll be okay. I'll worry about that another day. So one of the lads is coming out to give me a hand to lift up that bonnet on it again, because it's just too heavy and clumsy. Yeah. Right, we'll see what happens next. And voila, it's done. I had to just crack on and get this thing finished. It was kind of dragging on too long there. Recording these videos just slows everything down so much. But anyway, these little white caps worked out pretty well, even though it's not the way it was done from the factory, but it's going to have to do, because I didn't have any other option really. Of course, this should all be kind of painted black in here too, but it's good enough for now. And I thought these bolts would look, or these bolt heads would look ugly sticking out there, but it's not too bad. It's better than a big gaping hole there anyway. So that's it. David Brown 1390, new cowl and grill fitted. Don't know where this came from. Poorly made, but anyway, I said enough about that. And this came from Jeremy Fern in England, and this is really well made. So that's it. Not much more to show you really. I suppose I'll be doing more improvements on this whole thing from time to time. Some of the glass is gone, but some of the little parts there to keep in the rubbers are all rotted out, so that'll all need changing. The threshold of the cab here is kind of gone, but it's not too bad really. Starts fine, no major leaks really. I suppose it wouldn't be a David Brown unless it leaked something, but at least there's oil in it. It's an easier way than dipping it. Bit more rot here, but it's alright. It's not too bad. For all the work it has to do now, it'll do the job. Okie dokie.